Sophia adjusted her earrings in the restaurant's mirror, the diamonds glinting in the candlelight. She pressed her lips together to make sure her lipstick hadn't smudged. This is Marcus's favorite color, she thought, her fingertips unconsciously stroking the gold-embossed engagement countdown on her phone case. "Would you like a refill on the champagne, madam?" a waiter asked, bending slightly. "Not until my fiancé arrives," Sophia corrected with a smile. Out of the corner of her eye, she spotted a familiar figure at the restaurant entrance. Marcus was wearing the charcoal gray suit she'd given him last month, but his hands were busy typing on his phone. "Sorry, I had to handle a last-minute document," he said, kissing her cheek as he sat down. Sophia caught a whiff of an unfamiliar citrusy perfume. "Did the cultural market seize more pirated books again?" she asked, cutting into her steak. The knife and fork made a soft clink against the porcelain plate. Marcus suddenly set down his wine glass. "Actually, there's something I need to talk to you about. Try this first." Sophia interrupted, pushing the dessert menu toward him. "The chef said he can replicate Mozart's sheet music on our engagement cake." When the waiter brought the raspberry mousse, Marcus's phone vibrated 3 times in quick succession on the table. Sophia glimpsed a schedule reminder pop up on the lock screen. "Lisa, 1930. "A new case?" she asked, scooping a spoonful of mousse. Marcus flipped his phone face down on the table. "Just something about the office renovation." His thumb traced circles repeatedly on the tablecloth, a gesture that reminded Sophia of suspects being questioned by the audit bureau. "I in the taxi on the way back." Sophia leaned against his shoulder. "Shall we go look at wedding rings next week?" "That old shop at the Viennese workshop, Sophia," Marcus said, rolling down the window. Night air rushed in. "We might need to postpone because of the overseas training." She sat up straight. "I can apply for leave to go with you to Brussels." Marcus suddenly grabbed her hand. His palm was clammy. "That's not the reason." In the apartment elevator, Sophia counted the flashing floor numbers. Between the 7th and 12th floors, Marcus stared fixedly at the baby formula ad on the elevator wall, lost in thought. When he inserted the key in the lock, he suddenly said, "I'll drop you off here." "Your blood pressure medication is still in my bathroom cabinet," Sophia said, catching the cufflink of his shirt. His phone vibrated in his bag. Marcus stepped back half a step. "There's an emergency at the bureau." As he turned to leave, Sophia spotted a fresh scratch on the back of his neck. "T2 a.m. Sophia huddled on the sofa, refreshing their chat window over and over. The last message was from Marcus. "I'll bring you Sacher toward tomorrow." The late-night news on TV was covering a civil servant integrity meeting. When a camera panned over the attendees, Marcus's seat was labeled on leave. Her phone suddenly lit up. She lunged to unlock it, and only 5 words appeared in the message box. "It's over. Take care." Sophia's thumb hovered, trembling above the screen. The bathroom mirror reflected her pale face, with a smudge of dinner's red wine still at the corner of her mouth. Mechanically, she opened her social media app. The latest post was from Lisa, published 3 hours earlier, a photo of a hotel lobby clock, with half of a familiar suit cufflink visible in the background. Sophia swiped through Lisa's profile, finding more clues hidden in the details. In the corner of that hotel lobby photo, Marcus's cufflink glinted coldly under the light, identical to the birthday gift she'd given him last year. A sudden cramp seized her stomach, as if someone had punched her hard. "Not possible," she murmured, her fingers shaking as she tapped into Lisa's profile. The account had over 3,000 followers, and the latest update was a hotel duty roster posted 10 minutes ago. Sophia's nails nearly pierced the screen as she frantically scrolled through every post. On Christmas 3 years ago, Lisa had posted a gift box tied with the same bow Marcus always used. In a summer vacation photo from last year, the hand wearing a wedding ring on the beach was clearly Marcus's. Her breathing grew more rapid. She suddenly remembered all those weekends Marcus had claimed to be swamped with work. In his office, Marcus was slowly and methodically tearing up photos. A picture of him and Sophia at Schönbrunn Palace was cut into thin strips, the scraps drifting into the trash can. "Elena? I'm organizing documents," he said, holding a phone to his ear. His glasses reflected the blue glow of the computer screen. The cultural market is conducting surprise inspections lately. I might be home late. The sound of a child crying came from the other end of the line. Is Mark running a fever again? Marcus frowned, but his hands didn't stop moving. Tell the nanny to give him fever medicine first. I'll be back as soon as I can. He hung up and deleted all of Sophia's contact from his phone without hesitation. In his desk drawer. There were still postcards Sophia had written. Marcus crumpled them into balls. His expression was terrifyingly calm, as if he were just handling ordinary official documents. Laughter from his colleagues drifted in through the window. He immediately put on a gentle smile and pressed down the paper scraps in the trash. Marcus, still here? A colleague poked his head in. Did you finish the materials for next week's integrity meeting? I'm still organizing them, Marcus said, pushing up his glasses. By the way, could you check what project Sophia from HR has been working on lately? His tone was as casual as discussing the weather. The colleague looked confused. Aren't you two? Work needs. Marcus cut him off, tapping his fingers lightly on the desk. The tax bureau and us are having a joint operation recently. Meanwhile, Sophia was frantically sending messages to Marcus. Her nails tapped out a hurried rhythm on the screen. Who is Lisa? How long have you known each other? The messages showed read, but there was no reply. She called him, only to hear a cold, automated voice in the bathroom. Sophia splashed cold water on her burning cheeks. The woman in the mirror had red, swollen eyes, her makeup smudged like an abstract painting. She suddenly remembered the message Marcus had deleted in seconds from his phone last month. At the time, he'd said it was spam. Liar, she grabbed a cotton pad and scrubbed at the corner of her mouth, but the wine stain clung stubbornly like blood. Her phone vibrated suddenly. Marcus had finally replied. Are you investigating me? Sophia's chest heaved violently. Answer my question. She hit send, only to realize her hands were shaking uncontrollably. That Marcus's reply was chillingly calm. Adults should part amicably. No need to make a scene, right? He even added a smile emoji in his office. Marcus was deleting chat records from his computer. His movements were as smooth as if he'd rehearsed them 100 times. He even had the leisure to hum an opera excerpt. His phone lit up again. It was a message from Lisa. Did she find out? Marcus glanced at the door to make sure no one was there, then replied quickly, Don't worry, I can handle it. He deleted the chat box and pulled out another phone from the depths of his drawer. When the screen lit up, the lock screen was a blurry photo of a baby in Sophia's apartment. A shattered wine glass lay on the carpet. She knelt on the floor, rummaging through drawers until she found a Christmas photo from last year. The date was written on the back, and that day, Marcus had told her he was accompanying his superiors on a business trip. 2 whole years. Her tears hit the photo. Her phone vibrated repeatedly. Social media pushed a new post from Lisa, a night view taken in a hotel room, with a faint outline of a man visible in the glass reflection. Marcus was standing by the copy machine, feeding a stack of documents into the shredder. Amid the machine's hum, his phone rang again. This time, it was a photo from Elena, their son lying in bed with a fever. When are you finally coming home? The text was tinged with exhaustion and anger. Right away, Marcus replied, and by the way, he marked the last accusatory text from Sophia as spam. He straightened his tie and checked his expression in the window, making sure no trace of emotion showed. At the end of the corridor, the lights in the HR office were still on. Marcus paused, staring thoughtfully at the door. He knew Sophia would go there tomorrow to apply for annual leave for that Brussels trip that would never happen. Sophia's fingers tapped on the keyboard, the blue glow of the tax system interface reflecting in her bloodshot eyes. When she typed in Marcus's ID number, her nails left a scratch on the enter key. Please enter the query password. A system pop-up flashed. Sophia bit her lower lip and typed in the birthday combination Marcus had slurred to her when he was drunk last month. The moment the screen changed, her breath caught. The words married in the marital status column stabbed at her pupils like a blade. The printer suddenly whirred to life, spitting out a sheet of paper clearly listing Marcus's marriage registration date with Elena Schmidt 12 years ago. 12 years, Sophia's fingertips brushed the cold paper. She suddenly remembered how Marcus always said the locked drawer in his office contained divorce papers from his ex-wife. Her stomach churned, and she grabbed her phone to call her colleague from HR. "Hi, Anna. Could you help me check what project Sophia from HR has been working on lately?" She forced her voice to sound like she was discussing a report. "Yes, Marcus Hoffman from the Cultural Market Law Enforcement Detachment. We need to confirm his marital status for a joint project." The sound of keyboard tapping came from the other end. "Weird, the system shows he submitted a divorce application, but the final status is still married." Anna paused. "Are you okay? You sound a little, just a cold," Sophia said, clutching the paper so tightly its edges crumpled. "Could you send me an electronic copy? For work." After hanging up, Sophia stared at the family photo on her computer screen. Marcus holding a school uniform boy, with Lake St. Wolfgang in the background. The date showed it was taken during the week he'd claimed to be attending training in Berlin. The printer spat out another sheet of paper. Lisa's social security records showed she'd worked at the same hotel as Marcus for 7 years. Sophia's temples throbbed. She suddenly remembered all those weekends Marcus had said he was busy with work. "Need a hand?" Thomas's voice came from behind. He stood in the doorway holding a coffee, his gaze falling on the messy stack of documents on the table. Sophia slammed her laptop shut. "Just tax verification work." Her voice sounded like it was coming from far away. When the sound of footsteps faded, she opened Lisa's social media profile again, her hands shaking. In the photo, 2 hands were clasped together, and Marcus's wedding ring glinted faintly under the hotel bedside lamp. Familiar, just like the one he wore. The caption read, "Happy 11th anniversary." 11, Sophia's throat tightened. The calculator on her phone confirmed her suspicion. Over the 20 months she'd been seeing Marcus, he'd been maintaining 2 extramarital affairs at the same time. Her phone vibrated suddenly. A strange number sent a multimedia message. A selfie of Marcus and Lisa in a hotel elevator, dated last Wednesday, the day he claimed to be accompanying superiors on an inspection of a printing factory. "Who are you?" Sophia's fingers shook as she replied. The response came quickly. "A victim. Elena." Sophia's mind flashed to the dusty photo frame on Marcus's bookshelf. He'd always said it was his late sister and her nephew. Now she finally understood why he'd always changed the subject nervously whenever she asked about it. A new email popped up on her computer. In the attachment Anna had sent, Marcus's leave record showed he took time off to take his son to the dentist every 3rd Wednesday of the month. Sophia pulled up her calendar. All those dates coincided with Lisa's night shifts off. The printer spat out one last sheet. Marcus's travel record showed he hadn't gone to Berlin last month at all. Instead, he'd spent 3 days with Lisa in Salzburg. Sophia's vision blurred. That was the same period he'd refused to video call her. "Need help?" Thomas's voice came from behind. He stood in the doorway with a coffee, his eyes on the messy papers covering her desk. Sophia slammed her laptop shut. "Just tax checks." Her voice sounded distant. When his footsteps faded, she opened Lisa's social media again, hands shaking. The latest post was a hotel night view. A man's outline showed in the window. Marcus was at the copier, feeding papers into the shredder. His phone rang. Elena sent a photo. Their son in bed with a fever. "When will you get home?" The text reeked of exhaustion. "Soon," he replied, marking Sophia's last angry text as spam. He adjusted his tie, checking his face in the window. No trace of guilt. I could see the corridor's end. HR's lights were on. Marcus paused, staring at the door. He knew Sophia would apply for leave tomorrow, for that Brussels trip that would never happen. Her fingers tapped the keyboard. The tax system's blue glow reflected in her bloodshot eyes. Typing his ID, her nails scratched the enter key. "Enter password," the screen said. She typed the birthday he'd mumbled drunk last month. The screen changed, and she stopped breathing. "Married," stared back, dated 12 years ago, to Elena Schmidt. The printer whirred. Their marriage certificate. 12 years, she touched the cold paper. She remembered him saying his office drawer held ex-wife's divorce papers. Her stomach lurched. She called Anna in HR. "Hi, Anna. Check Marcus Hoffman's project, joint tax work. She forced calm. System says he filed for divorce, but he's still married. Anna said, "You okay?" Cold. Sophia lied, crumpling the paper. Send the electronic copy. Hanging up, she stared at the family photo. Marcus, a boy, Lake St. Wolfgang. Date: the week he'd trained in Berlin. The printer spat out Lisa's social security. 7 years at the same hotel. Sophia's temples throbbed. All those busy weekends. Need help? Thomas appeared, coffee in hand. Sophia shut her laptop. Tax stuff. When he left, she opened Lisa's profile. A photo. Clasped hands, Marcus's ring. Caption: 11th anniversary. 11, her throat tightened. Calculator. 20 months with her, 2 affairs, in unknown numbers sent a selfie. Marcus and Lisa in a hotel elevator, taken last Wednesday, the day he'd claimed to be on a printing factory inspection. "Ooh," she typed Elena. A victim. She thought of his dusty bookshelf photo. Late sister, nephew. Now she knew why he'd changed the subject. In email. Anna's attachment. Marcus's leave. Son's dentist every 3rd Wednesday. Her calendar. Lisa's days off. Printer. His travel. Salzburg with Lisa last month. Not Berlin. Her vision blurred. He'd refuse video calls then. Need help? Thomas was back. Sophia grabbed his wrist. "Don't tell anyone. Especially HR." He nodded, handing over a USB drive. Encrypted. Password. Your ID reversed. When she scanned the last document, the printer jammed. She pulled out a crumpled sheet. Marcus's integrity pledge, signed with a red fingerprint. Ironic, she laughed, tears hitting the line. Uphold marital loyalty. Thomas handed tissues. His phone lit up. Anna had sent a scandal screenshot to the group. No. Sophia lunged. Her email was auto-sending to the whole bureau and integrity office. "I'll cancel." Thomas reached for the keyboard. Sophia stopped him. Her tears dried. Too late. Lisa's red nails tapped the keyboard. Blue monitor light on her tight jaw. She replayed Marcus and Sophia hugging in the hotel lobby, pausing to film the screen. Again, she told the security guard, voice sharp. He nervously pulled up last Sunday's footage. Marcus stroked Sophia's hair. Lisa knew that gesture. He did it after their 1608 room dates. A cramp hit her stomach. "Copy this," she said, filming with her phone. The guard hesitated. Manager's signature. Lisa snatched his USB drive, plugging it in. She edited the clips, splicing their closest moments. The printer spat out blurry screenshots. She cut out Sophia's face. "Know her?" the guard asked. Lisa's scissors pierced the paper. Tax bureau slut. She crossed out Sophia's face, nails digging in her palm. Email sent. Vienna Gossip Weekly. Her phone rang. "Marcus." She waited 10 seconds. "Busy." His voice calm. "Just finished a meeting. Miss you." Lisa stared at the frozen hug. "Working late." Her nails scraped the USB drive. "Maybe." A cough. Elena says Mark has a fever. Lisa threw the USB drive at the wall. Plastic shards hit the guard's foot. "You said that last Sunday." She lowered her voice. "But footage shows you with the tax bureau blonde for afternoon tea." Silence. Marcus's breath quickened. "Are you investigating me?" Lisa heard a chair scrape. He was locking his office door. 11 years, Marcus. She tossed the cut-up photos into the trash. "I ignored your wife, but this Sophia." Her voice cracked. The guard slipped out. Marcus sighed. "Just a fling. Her dad's in the finance bureau." Lisa's tears hit the keyboard. She mashed delete. She found her marriage records yesterday. Lisa wiped her tears, sneering. Guess who sent her the Social Security screenshots? A glass shattered on the other end. Marcus's voice turned cold. "Are you crazy? That data's legally protected." She heard him pace. "I can do worse." She opened social media, cursor over post. Like sending your 1608 room audio to the integrity office. The monitor died, reflecting her twisted face. Marcus lowered his voice. 8 p.m., old spot. We'll talk in person. The dial tone cut like a dull knife. Lisa grabbed her phone, dialing. Elena? Lisa from the Crown Hotel. Her nails picked at chipped desk paint. "About your husband. You need to know more." The printer word, spitting out a screenshot. Marcus and Sophia kissing in the elevator. Lisa stared. Sophia's earrings matched the ones he'd given her for her birthday. She grabbed a red pen, drawing a bloody cross over Marcus's face, the tip piercing the paper. An email pinged. The gossip editor replied, "Footage too blurry. Need more explosive content." Lisa's breath grew heavy. She opened her phone album, finding a video from 1608 last month. Marcus's bare back had her scratch marks. The date, the Berlin business trip day. "You'll regret this," she murmured, finger hovering over send. The door burst open. The hotel manager stormed in. "Complaints about you misusing authority to access guest privacy." Lisa locked her phone. "Investigating last month's theft." The manager picked up the torn photos. "This is guest privacy. The guard said you're collecting Marcus's footage." Her phone vibrated. Marcus's text. "Sophia leaked to the media. Discipline inspection is checking me. Happy now." Lisa's vision darkened. The manager's voice faded. "You're suspended." He took her access card. "Head office ordered you to delete all illegal copies." The guard peeked in, grinning. Lisa grabbed her bag, heels slipping on marble. Her phone buzzed. An unknown number sent a photo. Marcus and Elena at a lawyer's office. Caption: "Signing divorce papers." The revolving door reflected her pale face. Lisa called Marcus, only to get voicemail. She screamed into the phone. "You think dumping me is enough?" Passers-by stared. Rain poured. Lisa knelt by a drain, retching. Her phone slipped from her wet hand, screen cracking. Through the cracks, a cloud photo uploaded automatically. Her and Marcus at a Christmas party 11 years ago. Siren wails. Lisa grabbed the broken phone. Marcus video called. She answered. Discipline inspection officers held up IDs. The cold wind in front of Parliament ruffled Sophia's carefully styled blonde hair. She tucked a strand behind her ear, her fingertip brushing the cool diamond stud. Marcus's birthday gift last year, now burning like a mark of shame. "Equipment's ready," Thomas whispered. His tall frame blocked the wind, and his knuckles were white from gripping the remote too tight. Sophia noticed the coffee stain on her coat, spilled that morning while organizing evidence. "No time to change. Start when you're ready," the press officer said. Sophia's knees buckled. She grabbed the podium edge, the metal's chill seeping through her gloves. "Friends from the media," her voice steadier than she felt. "Today I expose civil servant Marcus Hoffman's long-term deception of women's feelings." The screen behind her lit up, showing a timeline of Marcus with 3 women, tangled like a spiderweb. Sophia heard gasps from the front row. Camera shutters clicked like rain. "This is Internal Tax Bureau data." She tapped her tablet, pulling up Marcus's marriage certificate. "He hid his married status while dating me for 20 months. The crowd erupted. A cramp seized Sophia's stomach. Her skin burned where Marcus had touched her. She forced herself to scroll. During this time, he also maintained an improper relationship with Lisa, an employee at the Crown Hotel. The red marks on the chart stung. Solid evidence proves this affair has lasted 11 years. Thomas touched her elbow, handing over a thermos. As Sophia drank, she glimpsed his phone. Non-stop messages from the Integrity Office Group. "Now audio evidence," she pressed play. Marcus's oily voice filled the speakers. "Baby, my divorce papers are locked in the office." Lisa's scream cut in. "You said you were working overtime last week too." Then a dull thud of flesh hitting flesh. Sophia's nails dug into her palm. Thomas had spent 3 nights restoring this audio. "This was recorded on the 15th of last month." She raised her voice over the commotion. "That day, Marcus lied to me and his unit, claiming he was on a business trip in Berlin." A man in a baseball cap stood up. "Ms. Hoffman, isn't illegal access to this evidence a crime?" Sophia froze. Thomas stepped forward. "All materials come from voluntarily provided recordings and legally public information." "Grateful," Sophia continued, showing hotel records. When the date matched her birthday, a female reporter gagged. "Most outrageous," Sophia pulled up the final chart. Marcus used his civil servant status to forge business trip records, defrauding relationship allowances, and family leave. The crowd stirred. Sophia glanced at the screen. An email alert popped up. Sender, Elena Hoffman. Thomas switched the image fast, but reporters snapped photos. Focus on the key points, Sophia's voice shook. She opened Marcus's integrity pledge from last year. The fingerprint on the signature looked like dried blood that a woman in a camel coat pushed to the front. Lisa, her eyes puffy, live streaming on her phone. Comments flooded in, home wrecker, scum, liar. Lisa screamed. You knew he was married all along. She held up a screenshot, Sophia's profile and her follower list. Thomas zoomed in. This is photoshopped. Original data shows. His words drowned in questions. Sophia's temples throbbed. She had clicked on Lisa's profile while searching for Marcus. Snow swirled onto the podium. Sophia spotted a blurry figure on Parliament's roof, wearing Marcus's favorite gray coat. Her blood ran cold. Thomas, she tugged his sleeve. The figure vanished, replaced by cawing crows. Thomas frowned. What's wrong? Sophia shook her head, swallowing a scream. She kept speaking, her voice muffled as if through cotton. When she showed Marcus's fraudulent expense reports, cheers erupted. Her live stream was trending, comments covering half the screen. Please remain rational, she repeated mechanically, watching police cars pull up. 2 officers walked toward the press, folders in hand. Thomas cut the projection. Press conference ends here. He guided her back gently. Discipline inspection is taking Lisa. Sophia's last sight. Lisa pinned against a police car, grinning. Her scarlet nails pointed to Parliament's roof. Marcus wiped the brass metal of the Cultural Market Law Enforcement Detachment with his sleeve, his thumb brushing the raised characters, model of integrity. The newscaster's voice drifted from next door. The Civil Servant Ethics Act passed with an overwhelming majority today. He slammed the metal on the coffee table, the metal clanging over the news. Found it yet? He yelled into the empty living room. No answer. Only the fridge's hum. He kicked a moving box. Half a child's drawing peeked out. Mark's green crayon family outing faded. His phone vibrated in his pocket. Marcus pulled it out. Unknown number, the 17th today. He declined, his knuckle hitting the table. The white ring mark on his finger glowed in the morning light, like an unhealed wound. The doorbell rang. Marcus automatically adjusted his tie, then realized his shirt collar was unbuttoned. Through the peephole, a courier in a blue cap. Marcus Hoffman? Cod package. The courier held out a tablet for his signature. The package was light, rustling with paper. Marcus slit the tape with a letter opener. Divorce papers slid out, Elena's signature stamped with a red fingerprint. At the bottom, a note, custody hearing next week. Don't forget Mark's vaccination records. The metal slipped from the table, thudding on the floor. Marcus bent to pick it up. Gold paint had chipped off the character for integrity. On TV, Parliament flashed by, then Sophia at the podium. Breaking news, the newscaster's voice rose. Prosecutors filed additional charges today in the case of former Cultural Market Law Enforcement Officer Marcus Hoffman's alleged embezzlement. Marcus threw the remote at the TV. The battery cover flew off. The kitchen faucet dripped. Marcus tightened it, finding 3-day-old instant noodle bowls in the sink. He opened the fridge. Only a beer, half a carton of moldy yogurt, and Mark's magnet-held flashcards. His phone rang again. Lisa's number. He hesitated, then answered. Happy now. Her voice scraped like sandpaper. The hotel's suing me for leaking guest privacy. And you just get a demerit? Airport announcements hummed in the background. Marcus stared at the white ring mark. Where are you? Flight to Munich, Lisa sneered. You think I'll wait around like that fool, Sophia? The line cut off with a boarding call. The metal dug into his palm. Marcus opened the closet for his uniform. Empty. Mark's height chart stuck to the door. The latest scratch, labeled Dad's birthday, had faded. Children laughed downstairs. Marcus rushed to the window. Only a neighbor's blonde boy kicking a ball. His forehead pressed to the cold glass. Today was supposed to be Mark's weekend visit. His phone lit up, a photo from Mark's kindergarten teacher. Mark wore a paper crown by a cake. Elena's new boyfriend lit candles. Marcus zoomed in. The cake said, "Welcome, new dad." The The metal fell again, chipping the model character. Marcus picked it up. On TV, Sophia spoke, "Civil servant ethics need society's supervision." Her diamond stud glinted, same as his gift. The lock turned. Marcus froze. Elena for leftover luggage? Discipline inspection with a summons? He stuffed the metal in his pocket. Its edge pricked his thigh through fabric. "Dad?" Mark's small head peeked in, clutching keys. "Mom said I can get my train." Marcus's knee hit the table. Divorce papers fluttered to the floor. He reached to hug his son, but Mark stepped back warily. "Teacher said you're bad." Mark stared at the metal chain peeking from Marcus's pocket. "But Mom said I can get my toy." Marcus knelt. His shirt reeked of sweat. The TV cut to his ID photo, stamp suspended for investigation. Mark looked over. "That's Dad." The child's innocent exclamation stabbed Marcus's chest. "Want a train story?" Marcus's voice cracked, pulling out the electric train. But Mark pointed at the TV. "Why is that aunt yelling at you?" Sophia held up a hotel receipt. His signature loomed large out a car honked downstairs. Mark grabbed the train and ran. "Mom's waiting." Marcus chased to the door. Elena's new boyfriend leaned against the car, checking his watch. The boy jumped into the plaid shirt man's arms, never looking back. The metal slipped from Marcus's pocket, clattering down the stairs. He watched it wedge between the second floor and landing, model face up, gold paint peeling like rotten banana skin. TV cheers for the new act mixed with the anchor's cold list of his crimes. He closed the door. The white ring mark was gone. Sunlight had shifted, leaving only the shadow of an empty beer can. Marcus scraped the glass with his nail, but no trace of the ring remained.